Why Special Field Order Number 15 was never fully implemented. Special Field Order Number 15, issued by Union General William T. Sherman in January 1865, promised 40 acres of land and later, in some cases, access to mules to newly freed Black Americans in the South. This was intended as a form of reparations and self-sufficiency for those who had been enslaved. However, this promise was never fully realized for several key reasons. Presidential opposition, Andrew Johnson's reversal. After President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated in April 1865, Vice President Andrew Johnson, a Southern Democrat who sympathized with former Confederates, assumed the presidency. Unlike Lincoln, Johnson believed in quickly restoring Southern landowners to power and opposed strong Reconstruction policies. Johnson's pardons. He granted mass pardons to former Confederates, including plantation owners who had lost their land during the war. Land reclamation. Under Johnson's orders, the land that had been distributed under Special Field Order Number 15 was returned to its former owners. This displaced thousands of newly freed Black families who had begun farming the land. Federal inaction and weak Freedmen's Bureau. The Freedmen's Bureau, established in March 1865 to help newly freed Black Americans transition to freedom, initially attempted to oversee land redistribution. However, the Bureau was underfunded, understaffed, and faced political opposition from white Southerners and Johnson himself. Failure to enforce land rights. The Bureau lacked the authority to permanently secure land for freed people. When land was taken back by former owners, the Bureau did little to stop it. Alternative solutions. Instead of land ownership, many freed Black families were encouraged to sign labor contracts with white landowners, often leading to exploitative sharecropping arrangements. Southern resistance and white supremacy. Even where freed people were able to secure land, they faced violent pushback from Southern whites who resented Black economic independence. White supremacist groups, such as the Ku Klux Klan, KKK, formed in the late 1860s to use terror and intimidation against Black landowners and political leaders. Laws and violence. Southern states enacted Black codes, restrictive laws that limited Black people's economic freedom. Some freed people who had acquired land were threatened or even killed. Voter suppression. The same white landowners who opposed land redistribution also sought to block Black political participation, making it harder to advocate for land reform. Lack of congressional support and the rise of sharecropping. While some radical Republicans in Congress supported Black land ownership, they failed to pass broad land redistribution policies. Instead, economic necessity forced many freed people into sharecropping, a system that kept them economically dependent on white landowners. Sharecropping traps freedmen in debt. Many Black families rented land from white landowners, promising a portion of their crops as payment. However, landowners manipulated contracts, keeping Black farmers in a cycle of debt and poverty. Lost opportunities for economic independence. Without land ownership, Black Americans were denied the foundation for generational wealth that white farmers benefited from. The broken promise of 40 acres and a mule. Special Field Order Number 15 could have been a transformative policy, giving freed Black Americans a path to economic stability and true freedom. However, presidential opposition, federal weakness, Southern resistance, and economic exploitation prevented the promise from being fulfilled. The consequences of this failure were long-lasting, as Black Americans were denied the opportunity to build generational wealth, contributing to the racial wealth gap that persists today.
We hope that you enjoyed our short presentation on this sad portion of American history. Produced and directed by Kelton Ruffin. Music by Keenan Jaleel Ruffin from his album Sugar Shit Silk Sweat. Available on SoundCloud. Peace.